Hello, friends, and welcome into Outreach Radio Chicago. I'm your host, Michael Mercado, and I want to thank you so much for making us a part of your day. You can find me everywhere in the universe. I'm on Twitter at mmercado2333, like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed any show, go to YouTube and subscribe to me at Mike Mercado2333, and you can see past shows and cool interviews that we've done. And on today's show, we are so honored and so privileged to have motivational speaker Jessica Martin live in studio, and she gave us some great stories, some great testimony. It was really heart-touching, heartwarming, and she does her job. She gets you hype and makes you feel like you could do anything in the world. So please stay tuned for that interview. We're everywhere in the universe. You can find us on Twitter at mmercado2333, like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. Go to YouTube, subscribe to me at Mike Mercado2333, and you can see all our past shows and interviews that we've done there. Jessica Martin joins us next on Outreach Radio Chicago. All right, and in here today in studio, we have a very special guest. Jessie Martin joins us on Outreach Radio Chicago. Jessie, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. So, can you just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I have physical disabilities, and I do public speaking to help motivate people with and without disability to go beyond their boundaries of what they think they can do, and I also help educate students in the local schools about disabilities and teaching them the right way and appropriate way to talk to people with challenges.
And that's so cool where, you've taken the responsibility, because so many people just ignore it. What made you decide that you wanted to do this? What was the motivation behind it?
Well, I started with Toastmasters International, which is a public speaking and leadership program that I started when I lived in Des Plaines, and it just kind of grew from there.
And you could tell how much passion you had of it. What are some of your goals as you're doing this, as the years go on? Because you're still, how old are you?
29.
Okay, so how you have so many years left of having to do this advocate work. What are your ultimate goals at the end of it?
I would like to make it travel around the world, because I feel like I would not only be able to make an impact on not my local community, but everywhere else, and it would give me an opportunity to travel. So for me, that would be a win-win situation.
Absolutely. What's the one place you want to travel to? Now, being selfish. Let's be selfish for a minute, since you're always doing that nice word. What's the one place you want to travel to?
I don't know, but I'd like to travel out of the country.
You want to go out of the country?
Yes.
Yeah, go somewhere where the sun's always out instead of snow 6 months in the year?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the things that you have going on soon? The summer months are coming on, so I'm assuming you have so much, so many different things going on. What are some of the stuff you have going?
I actually right now don't have a lot going on. With school being closed, it's not as much being offered right now. I'm trying to book things for the fall.
Okay, so let's go in there. I think that's great, because you have everything hinders on the generation of our students. Like, the kids are so important. And I think, when I was in school, when you were in school, bullying was such a big issue. And now
yes,
we've gotten, it's nowhere near eradicated, but we finally have gotten to a place where we are not ignoring it anymore. How big of a passion is that for you, where, you get a chance to mold and help mold minds of the future in your own very, very cool way?
Oh, that definitely means a lot to me. And I always say, if I can impact one person, that's better than nothing at all.
That's really cool. Any stories about anybody coming up to you and telling you how you've helped them? I mean, because the courage that it takes to get ahead of it, to say, look, I'm not going to sit here and take it. I'm going to get ahead of it, and I'm going to make a difference for the first time. Because people tend to do a lot of lip service. People do a lot of lip service, and they don't go through with it. For you, what has kind of like been the ultimate reward personally from it?
Well, it was really nice one time because I didn't get a phone call, but I got package with lots of notes from the students and a thank you note from the teacher. So that meant a lot to me. And I also have been doing continual work with Lifestyles Academy. It's a program in which people with disabilities learn how to help advocate for themselves, and they've been asking me continuously to come back and help them out. So I'm very appreciative of the opportunities I've had there.
What was the name of the organization one more time?
It's called Lifestyles Academy.
Okay, the Lifestyles Academy, that's awesome. What are your future plans to work with them? Like, do you plan on continuously hoping to work with them? What's the ultimate goal with what is their ultimate goal on top of everything else?
I'm not exactly sure what their ultimate goal is, but they want to help these people see that even after school, there is options for you out there in the world. And I think some of these people struggle because they get out of school and out of the regular system and they kind of freak out.
Jesse Martin's joining us today on Outreach Radio Chicago. When you were in school till now, how do you feel the world has changed with the accessibility for people that don't have it as easy as myself or so many lucky people? Do you feel like the world has finally changed to help you more accessible to you? Not just getting in a building, but accessible to you to be able to enjoy the little things in life, you know?
Definitely. But I believe that if we stop educating, it could only make things worse. So it is important. Even though there's been a lot of advancements, there still needs to be a lot of teaching along the way. So I think that combined will definitely help. And modern technology is definitely helping more than I would ever imagine. So with those three things combined, I think we can break down barriers. And I also try to do that through my love of dance.
That's amazing. Can you elaborate a little bit about that, please?
Yes. I am a choreographer and dancer.
That's awesome.
Most of the time I do that for the Momenta Dance Company, but I'm working on an outside project for myself right now with some friends. And the message basically is similar to my speaking, and I don't want to give away too much because that'll take away from the experience of the dance. But
that's awesome. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, I'm cool with that. That's awesome. So you know what? All the good. I think it's awesome to embrace and put a spotlight on all the good that's been done.
Yes.
But in order to learn and to move forward with things, you have to not ignore and acknowledge the bad that's still going on. So
Totally right.
So to Jesse Martin, to you personally, what do you feel is the biggest issue still right now that we have to overcome?
There are still lots and lots of people, even though the R word has been a lot in the media, there are still a lot of people that the word slips out. And it just, that if anything could be changed, that I think is the most important.
I'm sitting here right now with Jesse Martin, and before we got into this interview, she did a pre-recording for one of her own messages that I hope we're going to be able to play at the end of this program. She's a better professional than I am, you know, and it's amazing because people will not give you, and this is the scary word, will not give you a second chance at things, right? Like you don't get the same opportunity as that you should, right? It's like, is that
right.
That still prevalent?
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Not as much, but definitely there.
Yeah. And then you're hoping, I mean, you guys have done such a great job of getting ahead of it and whatnot. You're super busy. I only have you for a few more moments. Jesse Martin joining us today. Can you give us one of your trademark special inspirational speeches that you give? Don't give them too much because, you know, we want them to show up to these things, but a little taste of it.
My message is to I love butterflies, so I like to say that people should keep flying and go beyond boundaries and don't look at a person based on their looks. Look at the person inside.
You're amazing. Thank you so much, Jesse Martin. Do you have any last words? You want to give out any shout outs to anybody in Radioland?
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to Mark Pinsky, my cousin, for allowing me to do this today, and I appreciate it. And hopefully this will help spread my message of acceptance, understanding, and equality for all.
Well, keep grinding, keep kicking ass. You have a home here on Outreach Radio Chicago. You're doing awesome work.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? Every single day, you're one step closer. You've knocked down one more wall. And that's more than a lot of people get to say. So thank you for all the work that you're doing, Jesse Martin.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back on Outreach Radio Chicago. Another huge thank you to Jessica Martin for joining us today on Outreach Radio Chicago, live in studio. She was absolutely amazing, gave some great testimony and awesome inspiration to anybody that was listening. Hopefully you guys heard her strength, her passion, her love, and you guys were able to get something out of it. So many people suffer from so many different types of barriers, whether it be physical, mental, emotional. They're all devastating. They all have their obstacles they have to go through. And Jessica has a way to make you feel like you could get through anything, that you could do anything. And that's very special in a person. It was absolutely our pleasure, and not just our pleasure, it was our honor to have her in studio today. Hopefully we just keep seeing her and so many others break through barriers and make this world better for absolutely everybody. But that'll do it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You can follow us everywhere in the universe. I'm on Twitter. Follow me at mmercado2333. Like the radio show page on Facebook at Outreach Radio Chicago. And if you missed anything, just go to YouTube. Subscribe to me at Mike Mercado 2333. You can see awesome interviews and shows that we've done, like with the UFC Bantamweight Champion Dominic Cruz, former UFC Heavyweight Champion Frank Mir, and awesome guests like Jessica Martin. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time on Outreach Radio Chicago. And Jessica is going to take you home with some awesome words. Thanks, guys.
Now I am out of my chair, the thing that I both love and hate. I love it because it helps me to live an enjoyable and meaningful life. I hate it because I feel like it sometimes is a block that prevents people from seeing who I am as a person. But yet, I am out of my chair, and I still feel like you are afraid, just by the worried look in your eyes. Don't be afraid. Come to me, one by one, and close your eyes, and dance with me.